The weekend is here and rest is near. Welcome on the show. I've got a massive show today. The African Nations Cup resumes on Sunday. And of course, we'll try to do a wrap-up on this. And I've got ex-Super Eagles player, ex-international, Sodje via Zoom on the show today. And I've got Shewa Jidagba via phone to try and analyze all of this one-on-one. Now, Sodje, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Wow. It's always fantastic to have you. You are an ex-international. You know about all of these things. So let's explain to us. Most of us don't know what to expect from the Super Eagles come January 11th when they take the Pharaohs of Egypt. We'll come to that. Now, the Super Eagles will have their first training session, had their training session on Thursday yesterday, ahead of their opening game against Egypt at the 2021 African Cup of Nations. The training held at the Rwanda Adija Garoua venue of the Group D encounter. Now, let me go to you, Sam, first of all. I'll come to the small parts of it. Let's look at the big parts. Please, as an ex-international footballer, assess the guys we're taking to the Nations Cup. How far do you think we can go?
Oh, yeah. It's always going to be hard to predict, regardless of who you take. The squad that has been star-studded squad where they go there and they don't achieve what they wanted to achieve. So, but when it comes to talent, it shows to you how huge the Nigerian national team is. We're missing some brilliant players, big names, but we still managed to take a decent, really good players to the Nations Cup. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, from the way things are going, these players are really good players, and they all can come as a first-team player. So I really think we can go the way. Hopefully, we get the tactics right from the technical side, and I think we've got a chance.
Okay, now let's look at the simpler parts of it, the parts that we don't see. Now, Eguavoin is the coach. He's got Pesero as his observer, and he says we're going back to wing play. We're going back to using the wings. Raw was not used to that. But now, Eguavoin says it's the Nigerian style. It's Nigerian style of play. We're going back to the wings. I'm going to have Alex Iwobi or Chukwueze and Iwobi and Aribo on the wings now, playing from the wings. How will that work for Nigeria against Egypt and other teams at the Nations Cup?
Every manager has his own philosophy. Every manager has his own system. I think it's good that he's laying down what he thinks is his system from early doors. And when you get strikers like we have at the moment, it's only fair that you give them the opportunity to get goals. So yeah, if that's his system that he thinks will work for him, definitely. And we all know the Nigerian national team from years, where we like going through the wings and put crosses in and the head, quick players. So I can understand where he's coming from. I heard him talk about the Nations Cup yesterday. He spoke well. Hopefully he can do exactly what he's saying. And I'm very positive that we'll probably be surprised what the players do for us.
Okay, now Sam, let's look at it this way. I was talking to someone this morning. He lives in West London. And he was saying Odion Ighalo is behaving like an illiterate. He says, you signed a contract with the club, Al-Shabaab, and you told them you had retired officially from international football. And now Nigeria has called you, you want to come, and the club says no. You told us you had retired and is boycotting training. Isn't that criminal?
I'm not using the word criminal, but I think he needs to get his advisors to advise him properly. Just exactly what you said. If that's what you said before you signed the contract, I think you should stick to it. And you should be smart enough to understand that some football club love signing players that they don't play for the national team. So maybe that's why they signed him. But yeah, using the word criminal or using the word illiterate, I think that's a bit harsh. But he should behave better. There's nothing there for him to do. He has already signed a contract that says he's not an international. He has decided to come back. So he has to work that with the club. The way things are looking at the moment, it seems that he won't come. He will not be coming. So it's okay. We'll move on, but let's not take it too personal. He has done well for the country. So if he's not coming, good luck to him.
Let's look at the psyche of the players right now. A certain player, Dennis, he plays for Watford, fantastic player. And he says, I am not going to come to the Nations Cup for Nigeria. Why? Because I was an alternative. Osimhen was supposed to be the main striker. He couldn't make it, and then he sent for Dennis. And Dennis said, I refuse to be an alternative. I'm not coming.
No, I cannot really comment on that because I didn't hear him say. He's a young player. They're young. I was one time a young player, and we make decisions or we say things that probably later we regret. There's nothing called alternative. If you have the chance to come and play for your country, you come and play for your country. When it comes to the invitation part of it, yeah, I think the NFF, messed that up. And but him saying he's an alternative, it doesn't work that way. Once you have the chance to come, you prove yourself, and you never know what's going to happen. But let me not jump into it because I didn't hear him say that. I'm going to say he didn't say it because it would be very silly for him to say something like that. It doesn't really matter who's first. If you have the chance to be invited to play for your national team, you come and play.
Okay, now, Sam, I'm going to have another sports analyst based in Nigeria, Shehu Ajidagba, on the phone shortly. But like I said earlier, I don't want to put you on the hot seat. I'd rather put Shehu Ajidagba. He's always on the hot seat. But the truth be said, we have always consistently argued that the problem with Nigerian football is that Amaju Pinnick and his officials don't tend to relate to us enough. Now, the payments of these guys, their allowances are never done regularly. As we speak, Gernot Raw is still being owed. That's why our structure is being wrong. Now, Eguavoin is supposed to be a stopgap. What can you advise our structure, our federation, to do to ensure things go smoothly? They obviously never do.
The foundation is already cracked, so there's nothing much you can say. Sometimes we have this talk because we have to. Your presenter, I do sport projects, so we have to talk. But that doesn't mean that they will listen. But as we always say before, Amadou is his own man. He thinks he knows everything and he doesn't listen. So no disrespect to him, but I think he right people around him should have advised him more better. But yeah, things have not been going well. Well, now Ecuador is there. I think we should forget about the NFF at the moment. We're going to a tournament. I think we should really, as football people, we should concentrate on supporting the players. And hopefully, even though we didn't prepare properly, things are not being done properly in this country, we should just hope. And which I hate saying, hope is not how you play football. I think we should be bigger than hope. But yeah, what we have to do now is support the team, and let's not bring the negative side of the NFF or anything. Right now, we're going to be supporting the Super Eagles.
Stay with us, Sam. Welcome on the show, Shehu Ajidagba.
It's a super Friday to you, Danny Scott, and my entire crew at Retrospect on PlusTvAfrica.
I've got you with Sam Sodje on the show today via Zoom. Sam Sodje is via Zoom. Can you hear me, Shehu? Hello, Shehu. I think I lost Shehu for now, but Shehu is the man who is going to actually say it as it is. Sam is very diplomatic, if you ask me, but Shehu is the man who always tells you as it is. Shehu, good morning. Do I have you back? Don't have him yet. Okay. Now, Sam, Shehu has always said that every coach that comes to Nigeria should always be told in his contract that, listen, you must look into the Nigerian Premier League, whether you like it or not. Obviously, Amaju signs these contracts with these guys. He never insists on these things. We cannot continue to bring foreign coaches who won't look into our Nigerian league.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I say as it is as well. It's just at the moment we're looking to support the team. But what you just said is spot on. Spot on. When you hire a coach, you need to tell them exactly what the country is about, how passionate the country is. We need to get local players to play for the national team. At the same time, they need to get the local team, the local league very, very good so that we can get the players to play with the national team. But we don't have that. Listen, there's nothing we don't know. Amadou has been there for so long. I think he's taken us backwards, technically. I think with time, when he leaves, we'll probably miss him from his marketing part of it. But apart from that, technically, I think we're back for at the moment, and hopefully we can bounce back and get to where we want to be. But yeah, when you get a coach, you have to tell the coach. You cannot tell him what to do or what players to advise, but you tell him the structure the country is about. That we need local players playing for the national team.
Now, if you're watching right now, the phone line will be displayed on the screen right now. Thank you, Oganaja. And of course, you can call and tell us what you expect from the Super Eagles at the Nations Cup resuming on Sunday, of course. And I've got Sam Sodje right now via Zoom on the show to answer your questions that you think you can ask him. But what do we expect from the Super Eagles at the Nations Cup resuming on the 9th, on Sunday? In Cameroon, Garoua, precisely, Nigeria takes on Egypt, the Pharaohs, on the 11th of January. I don't know if I have Sheun yet on the phone. If I don't, we'll continue with. Okay, Sheun, welcome on the show, Sheun. Now, I've got Sam Sodje with me on the show with you, and we're talking about the Super Eagles and what to expect from them come January 11th against the Pharaohs of Egypt.
In the words of one of the songs I love to sing on a daily basis, one day at a time, sweet Jesus. We have to take it one day at a time. Unfortunately, our preparation has not been top-notch. Administrative-wise, we have not gotten it right. Coaching-wise, it seems as if we're not prepared for this tournament. We are losing some of our top stars, the likes of Victor Osimhen, Emmanuel Dennis, Odionji Digalu. But I think it's an opportunity for the other 13 debutants to strut their stuff and show Nigerians that we've got.
Okay, now, Sam, hopefully you can hear Sheun. I'm sure you can hear him.
Yes.
And he says, let's take it one day at a time. But Sheun, this is an Egyptian squad that have got 7 players who play in one team, Al Ahly. Consistency is key here. We only train for 3, 4, 5 days and we go and take on these guys. Can we make it happen against Egypt come January 11th? Hello, Sheun, can you hear me? Okay, let me go to you, Sam. Sam, the Egyptian squad has 7 players who play in the same team. That's Al Ahly. And I'm a big fan of consistency. I believe in it. Can we make it happen against the Pharaohs come January 11th?
It will be hard. It will be very hard. But football is a funny game. It depends on how you turn up. You have to perform on the pitch. But it will be very hard to play against Egypt. The preparation that we had is really poor. You can hear Sheus talking about the administrative side of things. Things weren't done properly. We're not prepared for a tournament like this because a better preparation would have been helpful. But yeah, playing against Egypt, it will be tough. It will be very hard to get results. But if we do, happy days. But I always say to you before that we need to win anything, to do any well in any tournament, you have to have a defense that is solid. I don't think we have that. So hopefully we can get the Guavo to work on the team and we get a good result. But playing against Egypt, don't get me wrong, it will be very, very tough.
Sam, thank you very much for joining us today. And of course, Happy New Year again.
Oh, always a pleasure. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Now, Manchester City's assistant coach, Rodolfo Borrell, confirms the Manchester City have had 21 positive COVID cases in their camp, including 7 players and 14 members of staff. Pep Guardiola is among the 14 members of staff that have tested positive. However, Borrell says the City's boss is fine and has very few symptoms. The Spaniard admits that the Manchester club is still unsure whether their FA Cup third-round tie against Swindon Town will happen, but are preparing mentally for the game to go ahead. Borrell is not underestimating the League Two outfit, ensuring that the FA Cup title is one of the most treasured trophies Manchester City have won in recent years. Okay, now, you'll see the phone lines What are your expectations for the Super Eagles at AFCON 2021? Now, you're wondering why I'm saying 2021. Yes, it was supposed to be done last year, but due to COVID, it wasn't going to happen. So it's still being called AFCON 2021, not 2022. So you can call and tell us what you think, what your expectations are for the team, Super Eagles, come January 11th against the Pharaohs of Egypt, who have 7 players who play one team. They play together week in, week out. I don't know how we will do that. But last year was marred with COVID-19 cases. So football stopped at a point. Most sports stopped. But the German Bundesliga, players like Müller, Lewandowski, didn't stop scoring. So let's take a look at the best stories of the season so far. So far now, as the second half of the 2021-2022 Bundesliga season kicks off today. Now, Bayern Munich continue to lead the way at the top, while Dortmund star Erling Haaland continue to break records. At the other end of the table, Greuther Fürth, 5 points after 17 matches, is the second worst return in Bundesliga history. Welcome. Too many things happening in German Bundesliga so far. Erling Haaland, I call him Erling Alien. He looks like an alien, plays like an alien. Did you see that goal? He lifted above everybody else and stayed in the air and still scored the goal. He has to be an alien, really. Now, dozens of supporters have rallied outside a Melbourne hotel where Serbian tennis star Novak Djokovic is being held amid a dispute over a COVID-19 vaccine medical exemption he received. Even amid heavy rain, protesters danced, chanted, and waved banners, some of them in Serbian, declaring their love for the 20-time Grand Slam champion. Even when you're not going to be first, you should know we still have love for you. Djokovic was granted the exemption following a review by 2 independent medical panels prior to boarding his flight, but upon landing in Melbourne for this month's Australian Open, he was denied entry. The Serbian, who is chasing a record-breaking 21st Grand Slam title, is currently holed up in a Melbourne hotel for immigration detainees after his lawyers launched an appeal, which is expected to be heard on Monday.
I think it's terrible to keep him.
Let's Djokovic play. That's the idea. The man says he doesn't want the vaccine. He was given an exemption. He gets to Australia and he gets, wow, I don't know. Maybe it's political, I don't know what. This is the Australian Open defending champion. He deserves to play. But they say, okay, he was exempted. He now gets to Australia and they say no more exemptions again. And the guy is holed up in a hotel. He has to get his lawyers to work. I don't know. Denis Shapovalov and Felix Auger-Aliassime won their respective singles matches yesterday to power Canada past Germany in Group C into the semi-finals of the ATP Cup and a Saturday meeting against Russia, after Shapovalov beat Jan-Leonard Struff 7-6, 5, 4-6, 6-3 in the opening singles to give Canada the lead. 11th ranked Auger-Aliassime stunned world number 3 Zverev 6-4, 4-6, 6-3 to seal the contest. It was Auger-Aliassime's first career win against the top 5 player and will be a timely boost to his confidence with the year's first Grand Slam starting from January 7th in Melbourne. Daniel Evans and Jamie Murray rallied to beat Americans Taylor Fritz and John Isner 7-6, 7-3, 7-5, 10-8. The deciding doubles to hand Britain a 2-1 win, which kept alive their hopes of winning their group. Britain still needed Germany, led by Alexander Zverev, to beat Canada in the final group tie to help them clinch the lost semi-final spot. But it was not to be. Aliassime, is it the future of world tennis? Time will tell. Plus Sports on PlusTvAfrica on Friday. The weekend is here. Rest is near. Thank you very much, Super Eagles ex-international Sam Sodje. He joined us on the show today. Join us on Monday, Plus Sports and PlusTvAfrica. My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.